Hey guys, and welcome back to another strange little episode of Federico Talks Watches. Yeah, this is not the studio. I'm actually in Las Vegas with another YouTuber that I love watching, Graham Stephan. How you doing, brother?
Good. Thank you so much for making it over.
It's entirely my pleasure. Actually, we just shot a video for his podcast, the Coffee Hour.
Yep.
A link in the description below. And I didn't know. Well, actually, I did know by watching your videos.
Yep.
Even though you never really talked about it, that you're a big watch guy.
I love watches. Yeah.
You're a big watch guy. And today I figured we'd just talk about your personal collection.
Cool. Yeah.
And where you want it to go down the line.
Definitely.
Now, before we get started, we got to do the customary wristwatch check. I'm wearing my Breguet Marine. It's actually the one, I took 2 watches with me to Vegas, but this is the only one I've been wearing, which is a good sign because I'm still loving it, obviously.
Yeah.
What about you?
1969 Zenith El Primero A386. That's a mouthful to say.
But it's the OG. It's
the
not
OG,
the reissue.
Yeah. No.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And also, guys, before we get into it, you got to go check out DelrayWatch.com. Customary plug, link in the description below. All right.
Cool.
So everybody knows my collection.
Yes.
But what does a YouTuber with close to 3 million subscribers have in his selection? In his collection?
Yeah. Well, the ones I wear the most often, obviously this. I would say this I probably wear in like 80 to 90% of my videos. The story behind this was when my grandfather passed away, my mom and her sister were cleaning through the house and were going through a lot of stuff that he had kept in a drawer and just never done anything with.
Oh, man.
And I remember, and I was not supposed to be going to the house at all. I had happened to be in the area and had happened to be randomly that afternoon going to the house or passing by and saying hi to everybody. And I remember walking up past the trash can, and I had seen...
Past the trash can?
Yes. Yeah, there was a big dumpster. And I was walking up past the dumpster, and I remember seeing just a whole bunch of just knickknacks and things off to the side. And I had asked my mom, like, hey, what is it? Oh, that's just junk. It's just going to be thrown out. And I just, out of curiosity, I don't know what piqued my interest, I started looking through this stuff. And there was like just old prescription pills and just junk. And but there was also a box of just old watches. And these,
jackpot.
Yeah, but they're junk watches. I mean, just watches that you would throw away that were kind of rusted, that weren't working, and just and there's nothing really that I thought was that interesting in there. But I saw a box that said Zenith on it. And I opened it up, and I had no idea even Zenith made watches, but I had opened up the box.
The radio company?
Yeah, I remember seeing the TV commercials on Nickelodeon for like you would play for some of those like game shows on Nickelodeon.
Sure.
They're
not related.
That was it. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
I love that show.
They would give away like the Zenith VCR, and I was like, Zenith. But I just remember I opened the box and saw this watch in there. And I just thought the chronograph looked cool.
Yeah.
That's it. Had no idea about it.
You had no idea what it was worth?
No. Not a clue.
This is the original. Let me reiterate. And it's not only the original, it is, and I've told you this off camera, it's the nicest condition original
Thanks, yeah.
I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really special watch. I mean, yes, the connection with your grandfather is the most important thing.
Yeah.
But just horologically speaking, that is a hell of an example.
Thank you. So, yeah, I saw this box. The chronograph looked cool. I was like, ooh, I've always wanted a chronograph before. Like, I just knew the Rolex Daytona chronograph. Like, it looked similar, and I was like, wow, this is just cool. And so I asked my mom, and I said, what's the deal with this watch? And this watch, by the way, wasn't working.
Okay.
So I had asked her, what's the deal with the watch? She said that my grandpa had done something with Zenith back in like the late 60s, early 70s, somewhere around there, like 69, 70, 71.
Makes perfect sense.
Yes. And he got this watch as a gift. He never wore it. It sat in the drawer for like 40-something years. Just sat there. Never once wore the watch. But it didn't work. Okay. And so I said, what's going on? And she's like, well, we're throwing it out. He never wore it.
Oh, no.
It doesn't work. And I said, do you mind can I take the watch? Sure. And I had no idea what it was worth. I just thought it was cool. And so, of course, I go to my car, and I just look up Zenith El Primero. Like, I knew nothing about this at all. Just Zenith. I was like, wow, this watch could be worth like a few grand. And I was like, this is incredible. Yeah. So then I was like, I want to get it working. And so I start going on vintage Rolex forums to find out, like, hey, like, where should I take the watch? And I posted a picture of the watch. And everyone's like, dude, that's this watch. That's this watch. Look on the back. Read the. And so I started researching the serial numbers. And I was like, wait a second. This is the original 1969 A386 model.
Yeah.
And when you look up even the numbers on the back, and with the star, the NATO star, I can't even find the specific. There's when you go into the A386 or like even more specific, like I don't know what you want to call them, but models of that, like some have the NATO star on the back. And
iterations, different iterations.
I couldn't find a single one that matched this one at all.
Well, you know the reason for that, right?
Why?
Watch companies back then were not great into cataloging, and Zenith itself was never a company that was particularly wealthy. So they just kind of slapped on parts that they had at the factory. I'm not saying it's not real or anything, but literally it's like, hey, Eric, what case backs do we have over there? Those. Okay, we'll slap it on. Yeah, but Rolex did the same thing. Yeah. Thousands of models.
Yes.
Just like, hey, Pierre, well, what do we have in the back for hands?
Right.
Okay.
But so anyway, so I took it in, I got it serviced. The guy put on the band, the original band. The guy was like, don't wear the original band. Save it. So it's saved along with the original box. Put on an aftermarket band that I could just wear all the time, not worry about it. But this is the watch that I wear the most often. I should be, I think, more careful about it. But to me, it's just, this is my good luck watch.
I always say, just keep it away from water.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Keep wearing it. That's the beautiful part about it. I hate safe queens.
Yeah.
I hate safe queens, and that's definitely not a safe queen.
Right.
All right, so that's that. Yeah. That's the watch that made you, the most famous one. That's the first one I noticed on your videos.
Yes.
But what else is in your collection?
Yeah, so this is the other one. So this is the 50th anniversary of this. So this is another, I'm really sentimental when it comes to stuff like this. This is another one of those things that's like when I found this, I'm like, it's meant to be.
Sure.
So just like I feel like with this was like meant to be, I feel the same way with this. So what I do is every now and then I just look up values on this, or I see which ones are for sale, and I just compare them because I'm all about the value. So I'm like, how much are these selling for now?
Even though it's not for sale.
Even though it's not for sale. But I looked it up online, and I saw they announced that they're coming out with the 50th anniversary version hours before I looked out with this. And I saw that they're only making 50 of them.
Only 50 and in precious metal.
In precious metals. So I'm like, wow, only 50. What are the chances that, like, I look it up on this day and I only look it up like every few months? They just announced this. And so it turned out West Time, which was across the street from where I worked, was an authorized dealer for Zenith. And so I call up the guy at West Time and I say, hey, do you have any allocations? Can I get one of these? And they say, well, just a coincidence. We have one coming in. One for sale. Do you want it? We just got the allocation. I'm like, yeah, without a question.
Sold.
Yeah, that was one of the few times, and I think he gave it to me at a slightly below MSRP, because of the
Just so everybody understands.
Right.
This is the reissue of Graham's original 1969 watch.
Yes.
In yellow gold. So it's in homage to his grandfather's watch. Which I'm sure most watch geeks would have gotten that, but I want to drive home how cool of a concept that is to just have the new and the old in the same collection. Right. That's super cool.
Yeah. My thought with this watch was that, like, if my grandpa had this watch, I would get this one for myself. And then future generations, like maybe my grandkids one day, would get both of these, and they could get the 100th anniversary watch. And every 50 years, you pass it down. But this would be my contribution to future generations of Stephans at some point.
Amazing. Amazing.
So this watch,
we've got a big watch geek. Zenith aficionado. What can we say? But I know you have one more watch.
Yes. So I have another one here. This is the Rolex Datejust with a blue dial, stainless steel, with the oyster what do you call it? The bracelet.
36 millimeter and the current generation.
Right. And on the back, it says 2 million subscribers. It was a gift from a good friend and subscriber. His name is Grant Navarre. And when I hit 2 million subscribers, he sent me this watch just as a gift. He scaled up his real estate portfolio, and he doubled his holdings in a year.
Amazing. Good for you,
from watching
Grant.
the channel.
Amazing.
And so he was, his mindset was he made all this money in real estate with the help of watching the channel. So when I hit 2 million, he wanted to give me this as a gift.
That is also special. So there's, I love my watch collection, but a lot of watches I just buy because I want them or I like them. And some of them have sentimental value, some don't. But it seems like everything in your collection, be it your grandpa's Zenith, the Zenith Revival that you bought, and this Rolex Datejust, they're all so special.
Yeah.
And that's kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
Especially for a guy who touches watches all day long.
Yeah.
A watch is, I love watches, but sometimes a watch is just a watch. But that's not the case at all here.
Yeah. I think a lot of things for me like this are just purely sentimental, or there's something that I've wanted as a child. And then like the piano is a big thing for me. That I wanted a grand piano since I was like 5 years, 6 years old. I just wanted a grand piano. So stuff like that, is really cool for me to look back and be like, wow, I was able to accomplish that and do that. For watches for me are just, I'd say, are milestone pieces that you can get on special occasions or feel like you're contributing to something, and they're just heirloom pieces.
It's a great way to kind of build a collection. But I know we were talking off camera, or also in the other episode that we just shot. By the way, guys, go subscribe to Graham's channel. He has 3 channels. I'm leaving all in the description below.
That's a lot of channels,
not that you need my assistance at this point,
man.
but honestly, go check out his stuff. But we were talking about your next purchase. What is that? Or what do you want it to be? Rather?
Well, it's funny. I told you in the beginning of that episode, we filmed 2-hour-long podcast about watches. I had told you that on my 50th birthday, I wanted to get a Patek Philippe.
Yes.
And which I think is just a good, a 50th, that's a Patek milestone.
Big milestone. Yeah.
Right. You survive 50 years, get a Patek. So that's something I really wanted. But I'd also told you that a lot of the watches that I had kept my eye on that I've always wanted but never pulled the trigger on, like the Rolex Daytona Zenith was one of them. The Rolex Daytona with the green dial. There's been a few watches out there that I've wanted but never purchased. The Patek Philippe Calatrava was one of those watches that I've been eyeing for such a long time. And just
What color gold?
Probably yellow.
Yellow gold?
Yeah.
Simple white dial?
Yeah. I like yellow gold because I feel like now it's not in style, but I feel like it's just classic.
Sure.
And I don't know why people don't like yellow gold as much. I just feel like it's out of style. Now it's time to get in when it's not super trendy.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, but we almost convinced you that you're not going to wait till your 50th birthday.
Right. I told you that I would buy one.
Right.
But
I told you if I found one for you, I'd hand deliver it back here in Vegas.
Yes. So I'm going to keep the deal. You get me a Patek at a good deal at a Calatrava. Maybe I get one of the what's the Patek chronograph? The one that's $100,000. The white gold.
The 5170, the manual
maybe 5170.
one.
That's it. 5170. Yep. That's like a 50th watch, maybe.
Okay. I got that. 50th.
But the Calatrava, I would be able to justify that. I feel like it's a good value. It's going to hold in price. It's not over the top. It doesn't look too flashy. It's understated.
Guys, write in the comments section, what is your favorite Calatrava model? Let's give Graham some inspiration here. I'm sure he's going to look at the comment of this video. He's going to see a bunch of Calatrava names. Because you don't exactly know 100% which model you want yet.
No,
if
I don't.
Correct?
No.
Give him some ideas. What are your favorite Calatravas?
Yeah.
And then we'll see. I guess we'll shoot something else when
I would love that.
when we make it happen.
Deal. When we get the Patek, we'll come back here. We'll do this again.
Perfect. Guys, it's a short little episode. We literally just spent almost 2 hours on camera for the podcast. I urge you to go check that out. Link in the description below. Graham, I'm honored for you having me in your beautiful home.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you for. I mean, I knew I watched you, but I had no idea you watch me.
I watch everybody on YouTube. I seriously watch there's 50 channels that I watch, and I spend all of my free time either listening to YouTube. I put your videos on the background, I just listen to them.
You were the man.
Yeah.
I'm starstruck over here. Guys, thank you so much. Please don't forget to hit the like button. It really does help Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more content. And hopefully we'll have Graham back on the channel soon, presenting his new Calatrava, potentially.
Let's see.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks.